Welcome to another episode of Tangled Rights. This is episode number...
Oh, my only job.
Yeah, you suck.
36.
36. Okay, cool. Still here.
Still
doing stuff.
Still,
Justin W. Wilson. I'm not pretentious. I just have to use the W because there's another Justin Wilson. I listened to myself last week. I don't normally do that.
Which on the case yesterday, the other Justin Wilson was the attorney of record, and I had to tell him to change it. So...
Oh,
that I was covering on yesterday.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Sometimes, they'll do that. They'll put him on as attorney of record. Hopefully.
And he's Justin L. Wilson. We don't look alike. He does a very similar kind of law in some respects.
Taller.
Yeah, he's a little taller than me.
Handsomer, but like you don't even have to say that.
Yeah, that's not.
Can he beat up other lawyers?
Probably not. I could probably beat him up.
Maybe he could. I don't know.
He's a big dude. But
yeah.
I don't care. Like, that's fine. I'll try.
Nice guy.
He's nice, though. Him and his partner are very nice guys. They took me to lunch one time because we kept getting each other's stuff whenever I was officing in Henderson. And so finally he was like, man, we've never met each other. Let's go to lunch. I was like, all right, whatever, man. He's a cool guy. Nice. Anyway, this does not constitute a lawyer-client relationship, and it's not intended to be legal advice. Any of the shit we say is mostly probably just stupid.
No, it's
super smart, but like it's our analysis.
If this is your first time watching, we're two Las Vegas-based attorneys.
Yeah,
Cox and Wilson, Shane Cox, Justin Wilson.
J-Dub.
We're both licensed in Nevada. Justin's also licensed in Kansas, but
I've taken the bar twice, passed it both times.
Congrats. I've not passed it twice because I've only taken it once.
Whoa. But I did score high enough on the UBE to waive into any UBE jurisdiction.
Congratulations. Not many people know what that means, but...
No one cares.
All right, we're
Subtle
here
flex.
to talk about legal things, but
some illegal things.
And many illegal things, it turns out.
Don't murder.
But first off...
I know. Sad.
First off, we have a message from our sponsor that we're...
Yeah, you got to protect yourself, both in real life and virtually. Some would say virtually is more important. Let's hear from them.
Hey, Tangled Rights listeners. In today's digital world, we're all spending more time online, whether it's shopping, banking, or just connecting with friends. But have you ever stopped to think about how safe your personal information really is? That's where today's sponsor, Aura, comes in. Aura is a comprehensive online safety solution that protects you from identity theft, data breaches, and even unwanted surveillance. With Aura, you can monitor your credit, track your personal information, and get real-time alerts if something suspicious happens, all from one easy-to-use app. Not only that, Aura helps protect your family with tools like parental controls and fraud protection. Plus, if the worst does happen, their dedicated team of experts is ready to help you recover, giving you peace of mind wherever you go. Don't let your online life put you at risk. Protect your personal information and feel safe while you enjoy everything the internet has to offer. Click the link in the description below or visit aura.com/tangledrights and get a 14-day free trial to see how easy it is to stay safe online. All right, so today we have a few different topics to talk about. I got a fun curveball to throw at Justin later down the road.
I love topics.
Don't look into too much of my notes here.
I haven't even, I never do.
The very first is... from Louisiana State University, LSU,
the Tigers.
Go Tigers. Came out this week that Kiren Lacy was being charged, taken into custody for a crime. Okay,
I don't know who that is.
He's a projected first-round pick in the NFL, so
pretty serious deal.
He's fast. Would be on pace to make millions of dollars.
Is he good at football?
Except for this.
What happened? Allegedly,
Kiren is accused of passing some cars in a no-pass zone. Okay, and the news is kind of light. When we get new PNCs, we call them potential new clients for criminal cases that come in. All we have really is what they tell us the facts are. Mm-hmm. There's not much information publicly because we have to wait for the state, city, whatever, to file what's called a complaint. So it's kind of weird. The cops kind of start a case. It's basically an investigation. Then they hand it over to the DA to say, hey, is there enough here? Like, we have opened a criminal case. It's not a real criminal case, but a criminal citation, criminal,
investigation, which usually comes with a probable cause affidavit or an investigative report. It depends on how they're going to do it, right? Sometimes.
And there's a case number usually, so I hesitate to call it a case because I don't think anything's really a case till a complaint's filed, but usually there's a case number associated with it in the jurisdictions we're dealing with.
Well, so here we'll have an event number, which is going to be like LLV and then 10 or 15 numbers.
Yeah.
But that gets turned into a case because the event number goes to the screening team at the DA's office. The screening team at the DA's office's job is to look at the facts and see what crimes would apply to those facts and then decide whether they want to pursue it.
So there's minimal information. There's public police reports, but sometimes even those don't have all of the information.
Mm-hmm.
So the news will do interviews and kind of ask questions, and there's a lot of assumptions that happen. There's not concrete information. But what's the common thread of what's being reported is that he cut off these cars and caused an accident where someone died.
Oh, shit.
There's somebody calls it a hit and run, but there's a picture of two vehicles and they basically head straight into each other.
So he didn't run nowhere.
So no. He's gone from this from the situation. He leaves.
He physically ran, but his vehicle did not.
No. His vehicle's gone. Well, I don't know for sure. He's found some other place. He's, questioned some other time. So it looks like he might not have made contact with anyone, is what it looks like. We don't know. We don't know. Okay. That's typically early on in the cases. We don't know. We wait for discovery to come, see evidence. So this trickles on out. So we don't know exactly what he did. And the timing on this, when the NFL draft is in April, and there's likely going to be a complaint filed soon. Last I looked just today, didn't see that a complaint was filed that had more information. And typically complaints don't even have very much information in them. They're just bare bones. They're saying, okay, you violated this by doing this.
Sure.
And it's just very simple. So when we see a DUI, it's you drove while your blood or breath was over 0.08. And there's nothing else, like where it was, and that's it. So typically complaints are very minimal. And then the discovery, which is held by usually the prosecution, is shared to the defense, and it's not publicly available. So it's it comes out piecemeal. So
unless you have a hookup and you somehow get this information whenever the person is entering their plea in lower level arraignments.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, that can.
I brought that to the attention of a person who is in the know and can do something about that the other day.
And nothing to be done yet.
Nothing to be done yet.
Okay, well, that's neither here nor there. But these things are usually
it's kind of here and there. But
they're supposed to be private, matters. But so the reason we just bring this up is to show there's not a lot of information at first. We're sorry that we don't have the full book of evidence. We have to wait to see if there's a complaint filed.
I'm not really that sorry that I don't have it.
Well, it is what it is. But when there's not a complaint filed, the DA can deny your charges.
Correct.
And not even charge you.
Yep.
And then, you don't even get to see that stuff unless you make a public records request. You're only entitled to it in the case they have to give it to you because it's information.
So that's an interesting thing, though, because sometimes they don't give it to us.
Sometimes
we have to pay for it.
Sometimes you have
pointing at you, Henderson.
Sometimes you pay for discovery,
which is weird.
And sometimes you have to ask the prosecution for further discovery. Or specific things that you want to see in discovery. Yeah. It's kind of an interesting thing where defendant, because the Constitution gives us all these rights, that we are enjoyers of. We're big rights enjoyers. We can make the prosecution do their job. Mm-hmm. We make them do the work. Hey, go get us this discovery. Go look for this. We can subpoena stuff on our own if we want to kind of act,
sometimes
outside.
You have to. Occasionally you have to get.
But they have powers, they have connections, they get documents, easier. Hey, what about this prior arrest? Will you look at that, Mm-hmm. Or, hey, we think this other guy should be your witness, or should be your suspect.
Yeah.
Go look into him and tell us what you got on him because somebody
most
said
of the time they
something
won't tell us anything. They'll do it. And if it yields something, then yes, they will. But otherwise,
and they cough it up. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they kind of have to though when you're alleging it's a
wrongful identity.
Yeah, wrongful identity
kind of situation.
It's a weird situation.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry, we don't know much about Kiren Lacy. Lay low. His agent comes out, as all agents do. He did nothing wrong. He's not involved. That doesn't mean anything, I don't think. But because everybody always says that. So what's the point of even saying it? I don't know. I don't know.
You got to say things.
Everybody
sometimes, man.
forgets that they say that afterwards when they're guilty because they point the finger at Kiren for doing the bad thing, that he's alleged to do if it turns out to be true. So, all right, we're on to Shantee Mallard. You remember this one? I talked to you about this one right before coming over. I don't have my hat on me.
That's crazy.
I'm going to insert it here. All right, this is a little complicated one to explain. So Frisco is the Rough Riders, which is kind of an ancient, like a Mexican-American war army group called the Rough Riders that was led by Teddy Roosevelt. So the logo for the Frisco Rough Riders is a cartoon version of Teddy Roosevelt. And then the Spanish night, since Frisco sounds like fresco, they decided to call themselves the Queso Frisco, and they made Teddy Roosevelt into Queso Fresco. So for those of you online, it's a piece of queso fresco with glasses like Teddy Roosevelt and a mustache and a hat like Teddy Roosevelt, and it's green and red, so like Christmas colors. Make that make sense. Interesting one. Frisco, close to Fort Worth, close enough. It's kind of connected. It's in Fort Worth, and this is in Frisco, which is a suburb of Fort Worth. Does that count?
Yeah,
Close enough?
It's north of.
Sure. I do minor leagues, not major leagues. Like, there's a Texas
I almost
Rangers
took a
right
job in Frisco, Texas one time.
Doing what?
Trust and estate stuff with a bank.
Oh, cool. After law school or
Yeah, would have been a super chill job.
your buddy that works out there? You got a buddy in Dallas, I thought that did.
I have a couple buddies in Dallas. I got one that does that kind of stuff.
So Shantee Mallard is a sad individual, not a good person. She might have been on drugs. We don't know. This is back in what year was this? I don't have the year.
I don't know.
It was like 2000s, early 2000s, something like that. She was driving, might have been on drugs. She hit a homeless man who got embedded into her windshield. Okay?
He was stuck in the windshield,
Stuck
like half in, half out.
Stuck in the windshield.
So if you could imagine inside the passenger compartment of the vehicle, like a cartoon, legs on the hood of the vehicle.
I don't know.
It was like a Forerunner or something too, wasn't it? Like a small SUV, if I remember correctly.
I don't know. Look, I guess you can look into the information.
I don't really care that much. I just I remember seeing this and thinking it was.
It would only be based on her testimony, and then she had a couple accomplices, some family members and friends that helped her dispose of the body. So it'd be just based on what they said.
Yeah,
it's incredibly sad. Incredibly sad. What she does after she hits him, she goes to her house, parks in her garage, and closes the garage and leaves him there. Okay?
Wait, was he alive?
He was still alive.
Was he communicating?
He was still communicating somewhat, right?
Oh, so she left him to die.
She
in
left
her
him to die.
Garage like a psycho.
It was 2 to 3 days, and then he ended up expiring. Okay?
It's so funny that they say expire.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
guess.
It's just a weird one.
You're past your...
Passed away. I don't know. I don't know the right way to say it.
I don't know either. So he ends up...
He died. Yeah, he died.
He ends up dying after the 2-3 days.
After 3 days of being embedded in a windshield that he was struck into.
Incredibly sad. So Shantee gets some friends, 2 friends, to help move the body to a park, and then they burned the vehicle to try and hide the evidence of it.
Didn't they almost get away with it too?
If it wasn't for those dang kids.
Something like that. Real close. And your pesky dog too.
Yeah.
Wait, let's see who Shantee really is. Oh, it's old man Jefferson from down at the well.
So she was charged with murder.
No shit.
Destroying evidence, disposing of a body, all this stuff.
You could throw in like a
desecration
of a corpse or like mishandling of a corpse or something like that.
All this stuff, destroying evidence, all this stuff. One interesting point of the trial, is that the defense brings an expert that says, this isn't really the cause of death. She couldn't have done anything to prevent his death. He was basically already, there's nothing that could have been done medically to save him. To try and lessen it from a kind of murder, her culpability level of, hey, he would have died no matter what. This is just an accidental DUI death instead of a active homicide that she does leaving him there. So that was part of the case.
How'd that go for her?
She ended up getting convicted for the whole thing.
Shocking.
What I read is that she's eligible for parole in 2027.
Okay. Oh, she got a light sentence then.
So I know for Texas too. Isn't Texas pretty difficult on murders?
They don't like crimes down there.
Yeah,
not a fan of those.
So this was in October 2020 or October 2001. So yes, the early 2000s.
Oh,
she was sentenced for 50 years for murder.
Dang.
But she is eligible for parole after 26, about half the time. I don't think she's gonna get it.
Oh, she won't make her first parole.
I don't think why she would.
Well, maybe she did a bunch of stuff when she was in there, like Adam.
Maybe
she's rehabilitated.
Maybe she's changed a lot.
She really promises she will kill no more people.
It's sad. I mean, it is sad. Her trial happened in 2003. An interesting note I saw here is that there was some $10,000 raised for a scholarship fund for kind of family members in the name of Biggs because he had a son.
The dead person?
The homeless man, had a son, and so
his name was Biggs.
Biggs is his last name, Brandon Biggs.
Oh,
so a group of convicted murderers raised $10,000. I don't know how there's a group of convicted murderers that go about doing good deeds afterwards. Didn't know that was a thing, but apparently
maybe they're trying to make amends.
Maybe they are. I don't know. You got to try and make.
You can always change, man.
You got to try and make your first parole hearing, I guess. You can change. I'm not saying that people can't and can't feel bad for it. Obviously, I mean, if she was just on drugs and killed somebody, that's different than the leaving, this guy in her car or in her garage for 2 to 3 days.
It seems like 2 to 3 days is a little bit more extreme. It seems like it's kind of, you're getting to the realm of, I don't know.
That's why 24 years later, we're talking about it. It's just crazy.
It's a wild story.
Yes, sir. Okay. Next one we want to talk about is...
Is this the surprise?
No. Do you want to get to the surprise now?
I love surprises, but that's fine. We can leave
this one's fun. I'll talk about the surprise. All right. There was a recent trial this week, okay? Tracy Nix. The state of Florida versus Tracy Nix.
Stevie Nicks.
Okay? It's called the Forgetful Grandmother Manslaughter Trial. Completely sad. They tried to get her for aggravated manslaughter, okay? So I read the statutes on this. What happened is grandma was given granddaughter, okay? Left granddaughter in a vehicle in November, but in Florida it's 90 degrees.
Yeah, it's still warm there.
Okay. And so grandpa goes and tries to resuscitate grandchild.
How old's grandchild?
Less than a year old, I want to say it was 10 months, something like that.
Jesus.
7. It was over 6 months, 6 months to 12-month range, somewhere in there.
And how old is grandma?
She was in her 50s, 60s, not 70s, 80s. Yeah, she's not that old. That's part of the trial that a lot of people were talking about, okay? They define aggravated manslaughter. Basically, they had to find culpable negligence, okay?
Okay.
Culpable negligence. So the definition of that, I looked all this stuff up. It was just really fun. Intentional infliction of physical or mental injury upon a child. An intentional act that could reasonably be expected to result in physical or mental injury to a child, or active encouragement of any person or to commit an act that results or could reasonably be expected to result in physical or mental injury to a child. Reminder, we're attorneys, so we look at this boring stuff all the time. But in layman's words, it's she had to do something on purpose.
Yeah, I think they're going to have trouble with that
to hurt this child. Okay. Jury trial's over already. Okay.
So I think they probably did have trouble with that one then, is what my guess would be.
They did have trouble with that one. Okay. She was found not guilty.
Good.
On the first count. Okay. Mm-hmm. But Florida has a specific statute. There's a second count. Florida has a specific statute about leaving
a kid in a car.
Kids in cars.
Okay.
For more than 15 minutes. Okay. Even while it's running. There's different levels to it. Yes. Even while it's running, there's
with the AC on.
There's case law that if they're out of your view, okay, for the 15 minutes, that's leaving them in the car alone, even with AC on.
So I can kind of understand that because you always see those cases where
that's a misdemeanor. That's a misdemeanor. Okay, that's a misdemeanor.
All right.
Okay.
So she gets popped on that.
If they're harmed, then it goes up to a felony.
Oh.
So they don't get the kind of homicide umbrella, but they do get this other one where it's leaving a child in a car. So she could be up to a fine of $5,000 or 5 years. Okay. All right. You ready for the big twist?
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
Hold on. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Grandmother had a grandson die before under her watch.
Ooh.
She fell asleep and let her same daughter's kid get into the pool
Oh, Jesus.
and die.
Better give her the whole 5 on that one.
Okay. Same parent. Okay.
Bro, you'd never touch another one of my... First off,
part of this-
I'm going to go to prison in this situation because I'm going to kill my dad.
Okay.
Like, that sucks, but
One part is jury never hears about the other child.
they can't.
All these other people commenting are going crazy over this. Insane, wondering why this would be allowed to happen.
Because-
Justin, tell us why that you're the bad defense lawyer that would try and protect this lady. This innocent old church-looking lady with her long skirt. Oh, I didn't mean to. This is just an
I'm
accident.
sure she didn't mean to,
Okay,
but she's
tell us.
negligent enough. She needs to not be around children. So there's a
So she was
standard-
culpable negligent. Oh, okay. No.
Under the statute, you said no because she didn't do anything intentionally. But so there's a standard that basically says that you can't have in evidence that's probative value, which means the value of truthfulness or the value of the evidentiary value that it has is outweighed by prejudice.
Substantially outweighed.
Substantially outweighed by prejudice, right? Here, you do a little hand thing when you're arguing to the judge to really explain it to him. Because judges, they get nervous sometimes. You got to help them out with hand gestures. Sometimes.
Depends on the judge.
Depends on the judge, yeah. And so my argument would be that, and what just happened to me. As soon as I hear that, guilty.
That's what everybody thinks.
Yeah.
That's what
So you
everybody's
can't-
like.
'cause
Wait,
you're not
this is,
trying
This is
them-
grandkid number 2?
You're not trying them for grandkid number 1.
No.
You're on trial for grandkid number 2. So you have to look at it.
She was, they did an investigation into grandkid number 1, said, okay, there's no criminal culpability here.
So you got to look at it in a microscope, which sucks, but them's the breaks.
In a vacuum, I guess. Too,
Vacuum.
right? In a vacuum.
Micro
So
versus
if,
macro,
If a
dude.
jury, and I find it difficult. This was a small town, like in the central Florida, really hot, obviously 90 degrees in November. Sucks. Why would people live there? Sounds
Florida's awesome, dude. You can go wrestle alligators.
Apparent-
Swamp puppies. Yoink. Shout
Apparently.
out Fishing Garrett. Look him up. Fishing Garrett. It's one word. His stuff is awesome.
Are there 2 G's in there in the middle?
Yes, it's
Just
Fishing
gotta-
Garrett.
Just got to
Yeah, he's so good.
clarify.
He has such good stuff.
Okay.
Catches
So
swamp puppies.
that's the one thing.
Yoink.
Jury's not allowed to hear it because they would be so quick to jump and say, she's guilty. I guess the public, even looks like a small town, didn't hear about this,
Yeah.
apparently, because...
But that's what everybody would do. And that's what I just did. And that's normal.
Okay, so second part of this is mother, or, daughter of grandma, has given interviews. She even said, after the first time, it was hard for me to forgive my mom.
After this time, I don't know if I'll be able to do it.
But I eventually did. I had to start that relationship up again, and there has to be,
I let you kill 2 of my kids.
build a bridge. It's so sad. It's so freaking sad. This is insane.
I mean, that's what happened, though. She let her kill. And I'm not saying the mom deserves any blame. She doesn't. But fucking hell.
Well, and the defense attorney's trying to put a little blame on mom too, kind of needling into her a little bit. Because she did this. It wasn't planned. She got a last minute call for a hair booking to get her hair done.
Oh, God.
So then she goes and drops off baby with grandma. Grandma goes and has lunch with her friends. Okay.
Brings the baby along.
Brings the baby along. That's
why wouldn't
fine.
you bring your baby to
Goes
brunch?
home and then forgets the baby in the car outside in her house. Okay. So there were some pointed questions that I watched of, Is it a normal thing? Does she always have a car seat in her car? No, she has to physically put this car seat. It's an abnormal thing. It's something she should have remembered. Because I would love for this baby to,
Not be dead.
not be dead. That'd be fantastic. That's
And what a fucking shit way to die.
it's
Have you ever woke up in a hot car? Like when I was a kid, my parents left me. It was a 1988 Dodge Diplomat. So it's like a big boat. And I remember I was like 5 or 6 and the windows were down. It was still hot or whatever. And I woke up and I was like panicked because my body was just, and I ran inside. I was screaming. I was like, why would you leave me in the car? I was never at risk of dying, but dude, it sucked. And like, even as an adult, I remember that memory of waking up on that back seat and just being like, I need out. Like, so that would not be a fun way to go. Poor kid.
No, it's
Not that any way is fun, but you get what I'm saying.
It's incredibly sad. So mom does come in and say, I think she deserves to go to prison about her own mother.
Duh.
Which it sounds, I'm guessing this judge, it's an old-timey judge, old man. I'm going to guess he's going to max her out. Like,
I'd be shocked if he didn't.
I'm going to guess, she did get remanded right then and there.
Oh, she's going to prison.
So, that was a question right then and there, whether he was going to remand. When we say remand, it's taking her back into jail or not. So jury's dismissed. She gets cuffs put on her immediately.
Crying probably.
She was pretty stone cold. She didn't take the stand or anything that I know of.
Actually, she knew she was cooked.
Yeah, it's just so incredibly sad that this would happen. And I'm ready to cry about it. So we'll see what happens if we dead kids.
No, I don't like it either, man.
Makes me sad.
I wish that no one would leave their kids in the car.
That would be fantastic.
It'd be the best probably result that you could have.
Well, I've seen some studies that say the problem and why it keeps happening is people think, oh, that would never happen to me.
It's called a negative attribution.
So if you think, I would never do this because I haven't done it,
No, yeah.
you're at risk of doing it. So with the technology in cars, your car beeps at you. If you ever open the back door, it'll beep at you when you turn off the car.
It beeps every time, even if I don't open the back door and says, check in the back seat.
So, and maybe if you get repeat notifications, that kind of desensitizes you to them too. But I mean,
But also, I only have one kid, right? So, and anytime he's with me, it's like,
you know it?
yeah, I mean, like, it's my kid. Let the dogs out. Oh, where's the baby?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, this is a very forgetful grandma. That's why they called it the Forgetful Grandmother Manslaughter Trial.
Jesus Christ, dude. She let 2 of them kids die. They should let the mom have her. That's what they ought to do.
Did you like that twist? Was that a surprising twist?
That was a shitty twist. It was a good twist, but no, it was a bad twist. That twist has chunks of corn in it, bro. Like I don't want anything to do with that. It's fucking terrible.
All right, I'll move on. I'm sad. I'm just incredibly sad about this one. Matthew Luckhurst, you sent me this one. He's an officer in San Antonio.
What a dick. Speaking of shitty.
And he supposedly, before this incident, he has a history where allegedly he goes into the women's bathroom and smears some poop. Okay?
What?
On the seat. That's our brown substance. Okay? We're talking about poop now. And then the instance that gets him fired is he gives a feces sandwich. So bread with poop in the middle. Okay?
It's a shit sandwich and everybody's got to take a bite.
There you go.
Saying, but in reality.
He gives it to a homeless man on the street during his shift in San Antonio. Okay?
Okay, here's the question that I have on this, and I don't know the answer. I know I sent this to you. Was it his poop?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see that. Sheesh. I guess maybe
That would make it worse.
That's an important fact.
Right? Tell me it wouldn't make it worse.
Officer Luckhurst says, I gave it to the homeless man to throw away. Tell me how that makes sense.
Hey, I shit in this bread sandwich. Please toss it for me.
Tell me how that logically makes sense.
It doesn't.
So he gets fired. And guess what? Guess what happens after he's fired?
Oh,
does he get a new job? What does he do? He's exiled for forever?
No, he becomes a police officer in a town 120 miles away.
He becomes a police officer in a remote town 120, 100 miles south of.
We're sorry.
Got to move the family.
Sorry.
I mean, it's not
the CEO of fucking BP in the South Park episode after they spill 180 million barrels of oil in the ocean.
Did you think to know that we did say sorry though?
Sorry. And he's like naked on a bearskin rug, just like. South Park doesn't miss. That's all I know.
No, it's good. At least it's not excessive force.
Isn't it?
It's not excessive force. I don't know. It's
You don't think
it's
that's
not harmed?
You don't think that's physically?
He's not physically harmed. He's mentally.
I mean,
harmed.
he's kind of physically harmed.
I don't know if he took a bite of the sandwich or not. Like
He went to. Damn.
why would you give a poop sandwich to anyone?
That don't smell like no salami I've
Here,
ever
you
had.
throw this away.
You wouldn't. He's just trying to cover his tracks. He's obviously a fucking sociopath. If he's the kind of dude who's going to go into a girl's bathroom and smear shit everywhere. That's like those kids on football trips where you'd stop into a gas station and they'd piss in the trash can.
What?
Bro.
What?
There were some fucking degens from my school.
Kansas.
Yeah,
Just
well, you
Kansas
have to
things.
entertain each other. But like there were a couple of dudes who, like you go into a bathroom and then they just ruin it. And it's just because they're just trying to fuck with somebody's day, you know? Not cool.
All right.
But yeah, don't. And to a homeless dude, man, like, and all they did was fire him?
They fired him. I don't know if he's charged with anything. I didn't see anything on that.
I feel like
you're
this-
the one who sent it to me.
Yeah, well, I didn't bother to read it. I just saw the headline and was like, damn.
I mean, what crime is that?
I don't know, dude. There's got to be some health code violation there or something. Like
He's fired.
Trying
That's
to
what the headlines are.
like some kind of food handler's license. Like he doesn't have a food handler's license. He can't be giving sandwiches away to the homeless or
And
something. I don't fucking know.
The notes
Yeah.
on some of these news articles, a man experiencing homelessness, not a homeless man,
Oh,
because it's a temporary condition.
it can be.
gonna
And I hope
change.
that it is
It's going to change.
for all homeless men and women
No,
and theys.
persons experiencing homelessness. Come on,
For all
get
persons.
it right.
I said all of the three that I could think of offhand. And all the Zers and Zs, like any of you, I hope that you figure that out. It gets figured out. Not necessarily, whatever.
This was back in 2020.
Homeless for everyone.
This was back in 2020 that it, or some are saying
Don't fucking roll your
2016.
eyes at me, you piece of shit.
There's competing articles that say he was fired 2016.
I'm going
and
to tell your
2020.
proprietor to kick you out.
He's just
And you can
hired.
experience carlessness.
He's hired now 5 years later, so maybe he's changed. Matthew Luckhurst,
Yeah.
good luck to you, buddy.
No more poop sandwiches, sir.
Good luck to you. All right.
But the funny thing is, like, if you did that in a different environment, it could be like a skit on a Jackass episode, you know? Right? So maybe he just needs an outlet for his, huh?
Needs a camera. He just needs a crew.
Yeah, he just needs like a crew. Like, look at all those dickheads on YouTube. Like the kid, the
Guy who got shot.
guy that got shot. Like, they're all doing dumb stuff.
but they don't represent the state, you know.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe he just is in the wrong calling, right? Maybe he should have been.
Oh, so he had an appeal of his. Okay, looks like he was fired previously in that 2016, and then it went through court systems, and then eventually upheld in 2020. So
Good.
He even fought it. He fought that one.
Hey, guys.
And that was part of the argument.
It's natural for you to hand a poop sandwich for someone else to throw away. I would never give him a sandwich that looks like I'm just handing this dude, hey, bro, you hungry? You got a sign that says so. Eat the sandwich. I would never do that. I just was trying to get him to throw it away.
Wow.
Really? Man.
Was that your best? Who were you impersonating there?
Nobody. I was just talking.
Okay, sounded like a comedian.
Oh, no, I was just talking. Like,
I
the
didn't
funniest.
know if you were doing Christopher Walken or not.
Hey,
You kind of sounded like
my guy.
doing a Christopher
Your
Walken
tone,
thing.
it's all wrong. If you do it again, I'm going to stab you in the face with a soldering iron.
All right.
Joe Dirt.
That's
It's such a good movie.
That is a good movie. All right, we're going to talk about this judge. Another thing you sent me is a Cook County judge.
Cook
So
County
that's-
is Chicago.
That's Chicago's county.
I almost went there, but I'm glad I didn't.
Big old county. Caroline Glennon-Goodman. She was a former public defender who became a judge, which is
this
a
one?
path we
Jesus
see.
Christ.
Is a path we see a lot. Supposedly, she's saying that she did something wrong, accidental. You know,
No, she did it intentionally. She sent it to the wrong person accidentally.
she sent it to the wrong person. It's we'll have Austin put up this picture. I'm sure if you, should we? No, it's a little racist. Can it? If I describe it, isn't it any different than showing it? I'll describe it anyway. She sends something and says that this is her husband's type of humor. So she's trying to send it to friends saying, "Look how dumb my husband is."
Right.
Maybe. and she was a public defender. It's of a black little kid, and it's like a
Mattel picture. Like it looks like it could be on the box of a toy, right?
and it's an ankle monitor, and it says "My First Ankle Monitor" or something like that.
Something like that.
Something
like
incredibly
that.
stupid, incredibly racist. Something like that, where she's not espousing it, I guess. And
Supposedly. And then I want to know, like, and so the problem with a lot of these stories that we tell with you guys is like, we don't have everything. I know Shane just said we don't have the facts, but some of the details are very important. Like, what order did she send the text messages in? Did she send the picture, realize she sent it to the wrong person, and oh shit, and then send something about her husband's humor, right?
True.
Because that to me says it's, not genuine. So I don't know enough. But what I can say is, I could see how people would laugh at that because people laugh at dumb shit all the time. But as a judge, you should.
as a judge who deals, apparently she deals with
People of all races.
no, her job, her assignment was specifically over bail. Like that was a big part of her job is dealing with bail. Like it all went through her or something like that.
Yeah, well.
So
And you shouldn't be coming off as racist.
So
Just
if-
don't be one, but also like.
her job deals with establishing a lot of ankle monitors on a lot of different people. So the senior judge over her, whatever, moved her position so she doesn't deal with that anymore.
She didn't get fired?
Not yet. I'm sure there's going to be an investigation because it's
Oh,
not
sure.
like, you're fired. There's,
Yeah.
hey, judges are some of the most, clued in people that know how to sue and fight over this stuff.
Sure, and they're connected.
And they're connected with people and, their names are going to be out there. So it's not like they can just say, oh, okay, we're firing you. It has to be something,
First fucking ankle monitor.
like
what
this,
the fuck?
like this police officer who just got fired. He
shit
he
sandwich
went he
guy?
went through 4 years of saying wrongful termination.
Well, that's because
And then they gotta
everything
go
through the
through all that.
government takes fucking forever, man. That shit shouldn't have taken that long. Fuck him.
Well, okay. So she gets her job moved. She's not saying that it's hers, but do we know? I don't know. She was a public defender, so she's on the side of, trying to protect people. So typically those are more liberal people that wouldn't espouse, as racist ideals, but
Yeah, I mean, usually they're more
I don't
chill,
know.
but you never can tell, man. I mean, who knows?
I don't know.
And also, like, just because they're doing, quote, the Lord's work doesn't mean that they're not themselves pieces of shit. I don't know anybody in the public defender's office here that I think would even remotely entertain that kind of humor. But I also don't know them all personally.
I don't know. I saw this posted on like a Reddit subreddit for public defenders. I'm on there sometimes, and a lot of comments were like, "I hope they never see like what's on my phone."
Don't look, guys. Don't look back here.
Yeah.
You wouldn't like it.
So
Just kidding. Want to see? That's what they're getting at. I mean, look. Does everybody in the world who jokes about things and has meme sharing groups, does everybody in the world have something on there, whether it be they just wouldn't be happy their grandma saw it or they wouldn't want their boss to see it? Absolutely. Right? I've got a meme group, a bunch of dudes from the military. We send some terrible shit to each other. But you got to know the audience. You got to know what A is beyond, like, it's not funny. And then B, you got to be more careful, right? I'm not saying don't have a sense of humor, don't laugh at stuff. Maybe the way she deals with the difficulty of her job is by that sort of stuff, right? I don't know. There's so many angles to this that make it so difficult. But at the same time, when you're a judge, you better be protecting yourself.
yeah.
I mean, even me, right? There might be some dumb shit that I would laugh at, but am I going to, just put it on my forehead and walk around with it? Fuck no.
Yeah, well, don't send it to people that are going to narc on you either, I guess.
Yeah, I got one group of dudes, and none of them live in Nevada. I think the closest one is Texas
All right.
or Missouri.
Yeah, no, I don't know what to comment on that, but
What was that noise?
mute my news story that I was going to share. So this was one I put in the notes, Austin, the North Las Vegas one. So in North Las Vegas, this was a few weeks ago, but use it as something to fill today. This happened December 26th, day after Christmas. So in North Las Vegas, a man is accused of killing his girlfriend, Renice Nene Wolf, Markeem Benson. Okay. So this is in North Las Vegas Justice Court, which we're not in as much, but it's not too far. So all felony cases, even murders, start in justice court, or typically start in justice court, and then go up to district court. So there was a fight that broke out.
The last time we were in North Las Vegas Justice Court was January 7th.
I was there.
You were there.
I was there.
Yep.
Yeah, real quick. So there's a fight that breaks out. Family of the victim versus family of the accused criminal defendant.
Okay.
And they get into an altercation. We'll put it up, the video of that. Austin's going to do a great job of putting that up. There's a lot of emotions that happen.
In the video?
Yes. Well, there's always a lot of emotions whenever there's a murder, okay?
Yeah.
There's an accusation that the defendant shot the girlfriend in the back even, which doesn't change the outcome of the case, but changes the...
it makes it way more one-sided.
Yes, it does, right? She's trying to run away from you. And,
I was defending myself.
And it's...
She was running, sir.
A control.
I know. She could have come back. You don't know how crazy she is, right? How stupid does that sound?
Yeah. And he's...
Right? I mean, come on. Like, what are you going to... You shoot him in the back. Get the fuck out of here.
He's a big, strong-looking young dude.
Strapping lad, this one.
He's not...
Whoa.
Whoa, I almost
Well, I
broke
can't
something.
tell. Frame of reference, I don't know if all those cops are little. But yeah, he looks like a good-sized dude.
Unless those cops are smaller than average, but...
Some police officers are short.
He looks like
They don't discriminate. You can be a
pretty
police officer.
a pretty sizable dude.
Looks like a good-sized guy.
So that would cut against his self-defense argument in any way, if he's even going to be able to.
How crazy is she?
Sir, what does that have to? Oh, like prior history?
Yeah, like is she running? Hey, I'm gonna go get this knife. Granted, that's not valid. You can't. But you see what I'm saying? Like, and again, I'm not defending him. I'm just saying facts. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Whatever.
mean, it breaks out enough. Like you see these pictures here of just people.
That's the fight in the jail.
That's
Or in the courthouse?
That's in the courthouse. That's like the. It's only small. There's only 3 courtrooms in there.
Yeah, it's not big at all.
It's not a large courthouse at all.
And there's tons of marshals in there.
There's a lot of marshals. Yes.
I'd imagine because it's so small, you'd get set upon real quick.
Yeah,
Fighting in there'd be a bad idea. I'd just wait to get outside.
No videos of the fight, but there are some pictures, still images. This one's kind of
Tell me somebody's getting rocked.
somebody's falling down there.
Oh, look at the fracas.
There's some craziness. So don't kill people, okay?
Unless it's legally justified.
There you go. And then when you do, just know that there's a lot of
If the United States wills you to do it, then
oh gosh,
God wills it.
whatever. You're crazy. How much time? 20 minutes. Barely gone through anything here today.
I think that's the difference, though, right? Because it's any legally justifiable way. Which time of war? It is killing, but it's justified.
All right. We're going into the memory banks for this one. I told you about this one a while ago. Okay.
Tell me about it.
This is a Virginia Beach man.
Okay.
The headline is Humiliated on Southwest Flight. Okay. He's taking his daughter and his daughter's friend
Okay.
on a trip. Okay.
Oh.
So the question that I ask, and we're going to put up a picture of this guy,
Man.
is there's people that look like.
Let me word it. Let me
You
do this.
word it
Let me
for
do
me.
this. Let me do this.
Be sensitive.
It's basically, do you fit a stereotype, right? I'm not saying that stereotypes are good. I'm just saying that when you mention something, you say a tall person, an image is going to pop in your head, right? This guy has a look about him that looks the way that you see on several images indicating people who are victimizing
Have vans.
children, right? It's just a general thing, whatever. The big glasses, messy hair, whatever.
And a mustache.
And a mustache, yeah. And so he's not doing himself any favors in that regard, but he absolutely wasn't doing anything wrong. He was just profiled, basically.
Well, he's accused by another passenger, right? Like,
Right, but they didn't do it for a reason. It's his own kid.
it's his own kid.
And the person he's with has permission to have them. It's not like
Well, the problem on flights is
I
like if
know.
I take my minor child, I don't have to bring documentation.
right, but what if I take Bobby on a flight by myself?
And you're saying the reason is because there's
Look at me and look at him.
there's a racial difference.
My child is half black. So
right.
he kind of looks like me, but also kind of not.
I guess
If you had never seen a baby picture of me and you saw him with me, you'd be like, You the fucking nanny? What are you doing, bro? Like, and I'm on a flight with this little fool, and he's acting up. They'll be like, wait a minute. Those two don't look the same.
So you'd have to bring
I
the
might-
birth certificate just to.
I'm not bringing shit. I
Cross
dare
your
you to
T's
try
and
and
dot
touch
your
my
I's.
kid. Watch what happens. You're going to see me get put on a no-flight list because I'm going to break your fucking neck.
All right. Well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Anyway, I'll make sure I bring... Get me a deine Papieren. I'll bring my papers with me. Fucking Nazi.
That's not what I'm saying, but
Give me your papers.
all right. So this guy by the name of John. Okay, we're gonna put his picture up. He
This
fits
will be the last episode because we're going to get the shit suit out of this.
he fits John Kerrigan, in my opinion.
Any relation to Nancy Kerrigan?
Maybe, who knows? He has a certain. He looks like he could have a van with no windows in the back.
Oh, God.
Is that how you'd say it?
I already said it how we should say it, and you just fucked it up.
All right, my
that
bad.
long explanation I did, you ruined it.
I'll cut it out.
No, leave that shit. Fuck him. But I'm not getting sued, just him.
Okay, just sue me, John Kerrigan. Well, you know,
He's not saying he did anything. It's just
I'm-
like,
I'm not-
get a haircut, bro.
So-
like, come on.
based on that, he's accused of certain things. Okay,
Yeah.
he's accused of he has 2 teenage girls with him, and I don't know what his daughter looks like, and you know maybe she's a cute, nice-looking young girl, and there's an age difference there. He looks too old to be dad, and then there's another teenage girl as well. Gets accused of maybe taking these children somewhere that he
Basically,
shouldn't,
but
not
the other
having.
thing is that there's been a lot of information coming out lately about human trafficking.
See something, say something. See something, say something.
They're all over in airports and stuff. There was that Sound of Freedom movie that had just come out.
Yes.
And this happened November of 2024, right?
Let me see.
Because the news thing from WTWO. October. Okay, so
October.
It would have been after all that. I mean, there's definitely been a big push, rightfully so, and good. We should stop human trafficking. It's fucking terrible. I'm pro capital punishment. On
The
that one,
flight
by the way.
crew jumped to the conclusion is what it's saying,
Great.
that
So
he was taking them from the trip back home, and Southwest wants to give him $1,500 flight credit.
no, my boy. That number better include several more zeros and come in the form of dollar bills.
So
John, if you need help, I got you. Southwest is here. I do love flying them, but I will also sue the shit out of them for you. Hit me up. Come holler. Have you seen that guy? He's waiting for an apology.
he's waiting for his apology. He's not sure if he's going to take it.
Yeah,
Sounds
dude.
like he's shopping for attorneys potentially.
John, I got you. I'm
don't-
aggressive. I love litigating. I do very well in depositions. Don't want to toot my own horn.
And he can fight.
And I can fight, sort of. I mean, compared to regular people, sure, but like I fight with fucking pro. Like those dudes beat the shit out of me all the time.
Well, in the federal court put out something of the Blue Lightning Initiative and human trafficking. So there's some trainings to how to spot this kind of stuff.
Sure.
And so they
Like,
they question him. They
Is
detain
the
him for a
child
little bit.
Is the child crying the whole time? Do they know each other's names? I don't know. You could have been like, "Hello, what's his name? What is his relation to you?" Like, there's a million things you could have done.
Yeah.
and I'm not saying if
Instead
you,
of taking him off the plane. In
I'm not
cuffs.
saying if you have a concern, and let's say it is a valid concern for some reason or another, something that looked a little weird. Great, that's how you detect these things.
Yeah.
But there's probably on the, let's call it the use of force continuum between, all right, Jomo, get off the plane, right? And I like,
Well,
I,
it was
I have a,
it was when
hunch.
they landed, when they got to their home.
Okay, well, that's better, but still.
It didn't happen on the flight out. It happened on the flight back.
All right, you guys trafficked, but you're fine. No, I mean, I just think that there's probably a use of force continuum they could have done that would have made it a little bit better for everybody. And I mean, as like taking me and my kid as an example, if somebody asked me a question, I'd understand it. I mean, obviously, I'd answer it to the best of my ability. I think I could produce enough photographs of him in the hospital from the time that he was born until now, like to
Is that proof? I mean, anybody could come up with that, though.
Yeah.
Right?
maybe,
Like,
except for the photos of me in the hospital with him when he was in the fucking NICU. That might be a little bit different.
I could see that.
Anyway, so I get it, right? I get the need to ask the question, but probably just do it a little bit smarter. But actually, Southwest, don't do it any smarter. Keep doing that. And those people, come to us. We'll help you.
Come holler.
Come holler. That's right. We'll co-opt in that.
Yeah, I guess so. We'll have to have him on the podcast sometime. And
Dude. Having that guy on here would be funny,
That would be a get.
but we would get canceled.
Yes, sir. We would. All right. Well,
Wait, I don't think they're doing that anymore.
what?
I think canceling the season's over. I think we're back to just like, no, I think we're back.
No, I think canceling season is still right among us.
No. We're back to like, if you have a joke, that's fine. You can tell it, but there might be some social consequences that don't include getting canceled. Just everybody's going to call you an asshole or whatever. Do we have any kind of listener question or what are we doing?
Yes,
here?
we do have a listener question.
Oh.
Are you ready?
I guess so.
All right. What constitutes being able to countersue someone? Who's this question from? It's from Austin?
Sure, me. I saw it online.
Okay.
The Justin Baldoni case is getting way out of hand.
I don't know what that is.
Blake Lively. The
Oh,
director of the movie,
gosh.
She tried to sue him, and then he was like, "Oh, guess what?
He's
I have receipts
countersuing.
of everything."
Blake
right.
Lively?
Blake Lively, yes.
He's suing
She's
the director of
Isn't she the blonde girl from Savages?
she's married to Ryan
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
First off,
looking good for her.
their relationship is goals. Second
No,
off,
no,
she's
so-
incredibly good looking.
So there's been like a lot of evidence in the last few months coming out against her. Like people
About
are
what?
People are trying to start to cancel her right after you get done talking
Doctored
about.
evidence to try to throw out his studio and his company, saying that he was like fat shaming her and all that, and then he comes back with a bunch of evidence. Her husband rewrote a scene in the movie, but he's not a part of the.
They're just saying she's a bad person in general
Okay,
too.
well,
that she's like
whatever.
just bullies people, talks garbage on people. Just not a good person. The opposite of what her image is. Kind of like the Ellen situation, I guess.
Ellen?
Ellen DeGeneres.
What about
where
her?
Everybody thought Ellen was this sweet lady, and then all of her employees came out and says, "No, she's like a total taskmaster. She's
Didn't
the
Anne
worst."
Heche like say that Ellen abused her back in the day?
Yeah, a lot of people have come out against Ellen,
But that's
So
been like decades ago.
so
bro.
her-
Everybody's known that Ellen.
it's like within the last 2 years that her show's canceled. Her show's done for now.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's see if
So
it matters.
this
Hold
is
on.
kind of the Blake Lively thing that's starting to, and there's a lawsuit. So
Pulling Taylor Swift into it too. You don't pull Taylor Swift into
what?
it unless you have evidence.
Well, oof, don't pull
Let's
in that
see.
machine.
He's got good evidence.
So
Yeah, so Ellen DeGeneres' net worth on November 22, 2024 from people.com is 450 million. Guess what, guys? Too late.
is that good?
Doesn't fucking matter anymore.
Is that good?
Her net worth is about 449 million.
So everybody's saying because they're not going to settle out of court because nobody needs money in this case. That's all about.
It's going to go to trial. Austin's saying off air where we can't hear him that it's going to go to
Speak
trial
into the
because
microphone,
nobody
sir.
cares about money. They'll spend the money to take this thing to trial. They all have enough money.
Austin,
They want to do this.
get
Before we
on
get
the
too far,
microphone.
in a few weeks, we're going to do a live question and answer session for part of our podcast. Okay, so get your questions ready. We got it set up February 13th. I don't know. I'll throw it out there. February 13th. That's the exact date that we're going to do it. Because
What day is the
Because I
13th?
said it is a Thursday when we
Are
normally
you
record.
certain?
Yeah,
You don't know that.
it is. I already looked this up because
It is a Thursday. Holy shit.
Valentine's Day is on a Friday this year, dude.
That's
Sure, we're going to do it February 13th. Get your questions ready.
who gives a fuck about that?
We're going to advertise it. We're going to do it on not TikTok
tick tick.
because it might be gone.
It'll be
by
gone.
then.
It'll be gone.
We'll do it on
2
Instagram.
days. No more tick tick.
We'll do it on Instagram. We'll do it on Instagram.
All right, say whatever bullshit you were going to say on the microphone.
So the
now.
question
Wait.
is, what constitutes being able to countersue someone? Austin was going to say something. Austin,
Say it.
Say it, Austin. Get your camera.
I was just talking about that case because that's the reason why I brought it up was Blake Lively went after Justin first.
Justin, who?
Baldoni.
Who's
The-
that?
He's the director of the movie they just did. And he's also like the lead actor. So
Is it
she's double
is it the domestic violence abuse movie that just came out?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So
What?
So she went after
It's
him.
a book. My wife read it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
my girlfriend read it too. I went and saw it with her. But either way, so she went out and I think filed a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. And then they came back and they said, no, that's all doctored evidence. Here's the real text messages. And so now
There's a
building-
countersuit.
Correct.
Okay.
He
so,
sued her for 400 million 3 hours ago per NPR.
So what
Damn.
constitutes being able to countersue someone? What allowed Justin Baldoni to countersue Blake Lively, Justin?
So a countersuit, I think there's very specific rules, but I know that when the amount, when the issue is the same, you can bring it in. But I'm pretty sure that it can be broader than that. And obviously, I'm just saying this stuff off memory. If you and I are the parties, and then I have a grievance against you, I can bring that in at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's pretty broad on countersuits. It's different when you're trying to bring in parties and stuff, or if you want multiple actions in multiple causes of action inside of one civil action. But countersuits can be pretty broad. So he's suing her for defamation or whatever. When she's suing him for breach of contract, it doesn't matter. They're not the same, but they're the same parties. And so for judicial efficiency, and I'm assuming they have a similar. What is it?
This has a similar
Operative nucleus of operative facts, or what the fuck ever.
It depends on what court. Like if you're in federal court, and then federal court's horrible.
Gag me
there's something
with a spoon.
There's something about supplemental jurisdiction. But no, I can make a countersuit. Let's say, I hit you with my car, but then later you talk, bad about me. Those aren't related to each other. But you could even do a countersuit for that. It doesn't have to be related. That deals with jurisdiction. So you can make a countersuit for anything as long as it's not past the statute of limitations for doing so.
Sure.
So
Sue him.
any kind of countersuit, bring it in. You can
Bring it.
You can do it. You remember from law school, since you took the bar exam a couple times.
Twice.
Common nucleus of operative fact.
That's what I just said.
Is yes, not in the the same legal words that.
No, I did. I literally said the phrase "common nucleus of operative facts."
Did he? Oh, I wasn't listening to you then, as I normally do. So, common nucleus of operative fact means it's the same kind of thing.
Same shit.
Nucleus
Different
is the center,
day.
the center of an atom, right? That's the nucleus.
Yes,
So it's
that's
kind of the
correct.
same central.
That's where your
facts.
protons, your neutrons, and your electrons are housed.
That's about supplemental jurisdiction, keeping it wherever the original claim was brought,
Where the protons are.
and neutrons,
Jimmy Neutron,
which weigh about the same.
Fairly Odd Parents.
Those are different. Well, guys, get ready for our live show. Keep
It's
listening
gonna
to
be
Tangled
so
Rights,
good. I'm gonna say some fucking dumb shit, and you're all gonna hate me more than you already do
which is different than any other time. So,
because it's gonna be live, and we're not gonna be able to edit anything out.
peace.
Bye.